Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So we've got some racing on New Year's Day. Hopefully we can keep up our good run of winners. First of all, tomorrow's ratings, I'm actually going to make them free for everybody, so you can log on to the Rating the Races. Go to the dashboard, which is here. And then click on tomorrow. Let me just show you. Click on this tab here that says tomorrow. And then you can actually look at tomorrow's ratings. By the time you get there, these will be open. They're not currently open for everybody, but by the time you watch this video and see this, they will be open. So let's have a look at some of the races tomorrow and who do I like for those races. Starting off in the 1:30 at Cheltenham, the Betfair Handicap Chase over 3 mile 1, 56 yards. Can't get away from Broadway Boy here. Yes, he's a short price. Let's load up his price. He is available at 11 to 10. I think that's fair. I really do. I think it's a fair price, to be honest, about Broadway Boy. His form this year has been good. I actually tweeted a couple of months ago, Broadway Boy was dropped £1 to 148 after finishing third behind Senior Chief and the Short Go in a race over this course and distance, albeit on the old course, not the new course, and said that I really liked him for the old teamer off 148. Well, he's only running here off 150 since going and finishing second in the Coral Gold Cup, formerly the Hennessy. He went up £2 for that. This is not a old teamer. This is not a Coral Gold Cup. This features an old Our Power. Yes, he ran a good race behind King Tertian, but I kind of feel that's a bit of a different level to the Coral Gold Cup. That's a lower level race than what Broadway Boy competed in. There's not a lot between him in the weights. And yeah, whilst I think he's got a good, a reasonable chance, one thing I would be interested in, this is only worth 26 grand to win this. Our Power is currently rated 144. If he disappointed, he could end up being nearly back to the handicap mark as when winning the Coral Trophy at Kempton. Well, that's worth 85 grand. He won that off 141 in 2023. He's currently rated 144. If he dropped, say, £2, went to 142, you would imagine he would have a good chance in that Coral Trophy in a race worth 85 grand. So I kind of wonder whether they might even not try with Our Power tomorrow and find a reason why he gets beat. Cloudy Glen, I mean, he's 12. Surely a 12-year-old can't beat an up-and-coming, improving Broadway Boy. If Broadway Boy gets beat by Cloudy Glen, I would be very, very disappointed. And to be honest, with question marks about potentially the next two in the betting, I think Broadway Boy is the clear pick here. And 11 to 10, I think he goes off odds on, and I think he wins this quite comfortably, to be honest. Moving on to the 145 at Musselburgh. And the horse I like here is Liari. A couple of reasons. First of all, I actually suggested this as a race. Looks a chase already, but might need further as well. This Hogmanay hurdle, if Affordil doesn't run, so they don't run Affordil, could be ideal for Paul Nicholls. He won the Scottish Triumph at this track. Back for the Scottish County if the step up in trips doesn't suit. So he stepped up from 2 to 2.5 here. Or just shy of 2.5. He has won at the track. He's only 4. He's very unexposed. And as I keep talking about him, we have to remember that he went off 6 to 1. Was it 6 to 1? No, he went off 9 to 2 for the Boodles last year. A very competitive handicap at Cheltenham, off a mark of 134. He gets to run off 129, and Ben Bromley takes 5 off as well. He is thrown in for me. He's going to be running here off 124. £10 lower than when going off 9 to 2. What was that? Second favourite for a Boodles Juvenile Handicap hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival. I'd be really, really disappointed. It's only the trip that can beat him, in my opinion. None of the others should be good enough. They're not reliable enough. Yeah, it's only the trip that can beat him, and surely at this stage of his career, he can just start to go up in trip. And I'd be really disappointed if he doesn't win, as I said. He's currently available at 13-8. You might get 7-4 because they might just start pushing out with the money coming for Sweet Fantasy. If you've got patience, you can hold out for 7-4. Do that. I'd be really, really disappointed if Liari doesn't win this. He won at the course as well. I know I said that already. He was really impressive when winning there. He won the Scottish Triumph Hurdle by 5 lengths, beating Roaring Legend, Balboa, and Ombreed and Fassa. There's no negatives about him. It's all about, if he gets the trip, he wins for me. So, yeah, he's my second one of the day. My third selection is actually going to come at Fairyhouse in the 3 mile handicap hurdle. And I'm going for Read to Return. Now, Read to Return was subject to a steward's inquiry last year when running at Cheltenham. Was it over 3 mile? I think it was over 3 mile. At Cheltenham in an amateur riders race when he wasn't given the best of rides, for sure. And who was it that rode that day? Just having a look. Mr. Coonan. That came off a mark of 115. And then he didn't do a lot for the rest of his season. He went off 5-2 favourite for a hurdle off 98. He went off 5-4 favourite off 99. He went off 15-8 favourite off 100. And then came back this season, or at the end of last season, sorry, went over fences. Ran okay. Didn't run badly at Fairyhouse, finishing 5th behind McDermott. This season started off in a handicap chase at Punchestown, ran okay, finished 4th, and then last time out finished 5th in that handicap again at Cheltenham that they probably didn't want to win, because if they'd won it, they would, they may have even looked into that. Why is he able to win it this year? Couldn't win it last year off a very similar mark. Yes, that the stewards would be like, we were right to ban the horse after a very poor ride. After finishing 5th in that race at Cheltenham, it wasn't a bad race either. The winner transmission has since come out and finished 2nd to Haiti Cologne. Java Point, who was 2nd, has come out and... Did he come out and win? No, he finished 4th behind King Tertian. Went well for a long way. The newest one, I'm just looking on my other screen. The newest one finished 5th in a subsequent race and ended up going off 12-1 for a Welsh national. Yes, he disappointed. But Read to Return ran well for 5th. That wasn't a poor performance at all. Off a mark of 116. Now, back in Ireland, over hurdles, he's only rated 99. Connor Stone Walsh takes 5 off, who's been riding really well recently, including winning a decent race on Al Gasparo. Feature handicap at Leopardstown recently. Yeah. The horse could be absolutely thrown in, and maybe they've gone, well, target a race at Christmas instead of that race at November. We've got a race in mind. He's off a lower mark than when, he ran okay when 3rd, for example, in a handicap hurdle at Navan, only beaten half a length when sent off the 5-4 favourite. Philip Enright that rode him that day couldn't take 5 off, obviously. That £5 would probably been enough to win this race. He's up to 3 mile, which I think is going to be key. I think he'll really appreciate that. Again, I don't think there's any negative about this horse. Is there something a bit better handicapped over hurdles? If he reproduces his chase form, he'll win this. I'm really confident of that. He'll win this. I'm very happy with him, to be honest. I can't talk too much because I'll just keep saying the same things. What price is he? So he's initially been opened up at 7s. Hopefully we can get that across the boards. I'm very happy with 7s. Particularly as you've got to remember, could go off 7-1. The last times he's ran in handicap hurdles, he's gone off 15-8, 5-4, 5-2. Well, he's 7, so that's straight away, that's a bigger price than previously. Much bigger price, and I think it's a good price, to be honest. I'm really happy with Read to Return there. Moving back to Cheltenham, we actually go for a horse that is bottom rated here. And we had a winner a few days ago with bottom rated. We had Gypco, who just needed things to fall right for the the Ben Pauling team, and they did. Was it the Ben Pauling team, or was it the O'Neill team? Might have been the O'Neill team, actually. And it did, and he went and won. Now, I can see similar happening here with Midnight River, who won this race 2 years ago. He won this race off a mark of 145, I think it was. It was 145. He went off the 6-1 second favourite. He beat Stolen Silver by 2 and a bit lengths. Good run. Clearly acts at the track then. Then came back for the plate of 152. Finished mid-division. Didn't run really to his level. Hasn't been back to Cheltenham since then. I think that's key as well, in that we know he likes Cheltenham. We know he likes this new course. Definitely likes this course and distance. And he returns here off 148, just £3 higher than when winning the race back in January 2023. Now this season he has been a bit flat. His first effort at Wetherby, over 2 mile 3, looked like a prep run for the Paddy Power Gold Cup, but that came too quick, so they ended up not going for that and they went for the Coral Gold Cup instead. They didn't then run him in the December Gold Cup at Cheltenham, but they've come here for this New Year's Day race. Now, there was a couple of others that Dan Skelton could have run in this race, including Cheltenham. I thought Cheltenham could have been coming here. They're not. They're just relying on Midnight River, who is their number one this time. Previously, when he ran at Newbury in the Coral Gold Cup, he wasn't their number one. Their number one hope that day was Galet de la Tour, and Harry Skelton rode that. James Bowen rode Midnight River. And I kind of feel that this is a bit of, we're sorry that James had to ride. We're now going to set you up as our number one hope for a race. I really like him. I think he's going to run a really big race here. He's down to a nice weight. I think the Skeltons are going to have a really good second half of the season. I think they've got some really nicely handicapped horses. And yeah, I'm pretty hopeful of a really big run here from Midnight River. If you actually look at the R figures as well, this 150.6 when he won at Aintree, that would give him a great chance. There's only a couple of performances. There's only one performance better than that. No, there's not. There's two. There's one there as well. The Wetherby for Colonel Harry and Cheltenham for Hitman. I don't think Hitman's in as good a form this season. I think he's still too high in the weights as well. And Colonel Harry hasn't really convinced me yet. So, yeah, I'm really keen on Midnight River. So let's have a look at his price. He's currently available at 10-1, and I think that's good. I'd be disappointed. I'd be surprised if he doesn't go off single figures for a start. And finally, will that be my 5? That will be my 5. Finally, the last one I want to talk about is in the 240. One Big Bang looks... I think One Big Bang is... I think he's going to win this. Second to Hymac on his return behind... second to Hymac. Hymac ran reasonably well recently when finishing second to Henry's Friend. He'd also finished third to a Buffalo Soldier. Both of those in feature handicaps. So that looked decent form from One Big Bang. Finishing behind Hymac in a novice's hurdle. Then went to Haydock, finished second to Shoot First. Now, Shoot First is a horse that I'm really keen on for the Pertemps final, to be honest. Just need to go and get him qualified. After winning that race, the Betfair Stayers handicap hurdle, he then finished 9th in the long walk, but was actually still there until he made a complete mess of the last, or the second last it was. I think he was going to run a reasonable race, but hopefully they go, let's get him qualified for the Pertemps final now. Back in third that day, behind Shoot First and One Big Bang were Phantom of the Points. He should have won at the weekend, or earlier this week, sorry, when finishing 4th at Chepstow. He jumped the last in the lead, was going to win it before hanging badly over to the near side. The horse back in 5th that day was Back Mia Sack Me. I think that's how you say it. He's since finished second in a listed handicap at Navan behind Flicker of Hope, only beaten a short head. It was a good race. That Shoot First beat One Big Bang in. A reproduction of that, and One Big Bang should win. I think both of those efforts are good enough to win this. He's only rated 127, and I kind of feel that they're going, well, we need to get him to win something soon, because we need to go up in the weights to get him better races. Harry Cobden takes over. No issues with that. I think he'll give him a good ride, and I think he's the most progressive and most unexposed here. I know Strachan's coming into it off the back of a couple of wins, but I just feel that form is very, I think it's suspect compared to the strength of One Big Bang's form, and I think he will take all of the beating tomorrow. So that's my last one of the day. Let's have a look. It's One Big Bang, who's currently available at 5-2. So my 5 tomorrow are Broadway Boy, on the basis that I think his form is strong. His second in the Coral Gold Cup should be good enough to win this. I have question marks about whether Our Power is running here or trying to be dropped a couple of pounds for the race at Kempton. Cloudy Glen surely shouldn't be good enough at 12. Liari, this is his course. He goes up in trip like I suggested he might. He is well handicapped, and Ben Bromley taking 5 off could make him look very, very well handicapped. Read to Return is also very nicely handicapped over hurdles compared to his chase mark, and his chase effort last time was a very good effort, a reproduction of that. I see Read to Return going close. Midnight River, back at the scene of one of his best performances when winning this a couple of years ago. He's only £3 higher. Harry Skelton rides, I think that's key as well. And finally, One Big Bang. His 2 efforts recently have both been very good efforts over hurdles. A reproduction, again, I think should be enough to win this. And Harry Cobden taking the ride. I think they're trying to win to get him up in the handicap to go into better races down the line.